Hi, my name is Karla Ballard, and I want to welcome you to our workshop, our Health Education Network workshop, where we're going to be talking about generational wealth, which is a subject that's very exciting if we approach it the right way. And in this economy, we are really going to get into some nitty-gritty of some things that I believe will help us start opening our minds to other avenues in terms of generating wealth. So let me tell you a little bit about my background. I'm born and raised in good old Philadelphia. Born and raised in Germantown by a single mother who worked extremely hard to put my brother and I through school. Was part of the Philadelphia educational system, and I'm not here to knock it because it's working consistently to be improved every day. However, when I was part of the system, I lost 2 months worth of school. So I ended up rotating from a public school to a private school in Philadelphia. Had an amazing foundation in terms of education, and I ended up going to school at University of Virginia after I graduated high school. And after UVA, I ended up going into banking. And I worked really hard to put people in debt. And now, is that anything I'm proud of? Absolutely not. I worked for a credit card company that I won't put on tape right now. But I will say this, that I had some amazing, at least foundational training within the financial markets. So I feel very blessed to have had that. One thing that I will say, too, is that I saw what credit cards could do to not only families, but also our economic system. And we'll talk about that later, what credit cards are actually. So anyway, that's my background, but I'm going to fast forward. I moved to Washington, D.C., and I spent 2 years in Congress Park. That's a shocker for people when I say it. In Southeast D.C., I literally hung out on Congress Street. I don't know if you all are familiar with that, for 2 years. And it was an amazing experience because I was there running a project called the Model Practices Collaborative that was actually sponsored by the United States Chamber of Commerce, CVS Pharmacy, Edgar Kahn from Time Dollar, and we worked really hard on bringing private sector practices to the neighborhood, but directly working with residents in the neighborhood. So that's what made it fun for me. I actually had the ability to work and serve as a catalyst with the residents. So it wasn't just services being delivered to residents, it was residents coming up with ideas to create change in their own community. So it was an extraordinary experience. It was about time that I left the neighborhood to kind of go into that next level in life. And so I had the opportunity to find out about a company, literally a stored value company, a stored card value company. Is anyone familiar with cards, loyalty cards? Does anyone have in their pocket a bank card? Yes, okay. No, not yet, but we're going to talk about that. You don't want one? Okay, okay, all right. Well, we'll have to talk about this, but that's fine, that's fine. One of the key things that you'll find is that cards, plastic cards, are becoming extremely popular. Extremely popular. You go to CVS, you have a plastic card. What to get? Discounts. You go to Harris Teeter, same thing. You go wherever. It could be, oh, well, what about Ann Taylor and you buy your girlfriend a gift card, right? So cards have become extremely popular. I say this for one reason. The company that we started was unique. This was the only stored value card, loyalty card in the world that was going through the Federal Reserve network and allowed for someone not to have any credit whatsoever, but also had a cash rebate. So that merchant would decide they're going to give a rebate back, because we all hear about cash rebates all day long. But how long does it take to get a cash rebate? Anyone? Forever. Even if you are looking for you have to write your name and your address and all that. Anyway, this was the very first card that allowed for a rebate to come back within 24 hours on your card. So you go into a merchant, they say they're giving a cash rebate. Guess what? You wake up in the morning, you go into your online account on this particular card, and it's there. Very exciting. So when I found out about it, I was thrilled because in my social entrepreneurial thinking, I said, you know, this is amazing. This is a way where you can actually take part of that rebate and direct it to an IDA account, which is an individual development account, a way to build assets for low-income individuals. Thrilled. Or part of that could go to your favorite nonprofit charity or your church or whatever it was you could choose. So I ended up, this little old girl from Philadelphia flew out to Minnesota. I now own half of the company, or not half of the company, I'm sorry, because our shares have been diluted, but I own a large share of this particular technology company. A lot of that is because of thinking outside the box, so we're going to really hit that today pretty hard. Well, also, I'll tell you this, I ended up having a mentor of mine observe the fact that I would be willing to go into Congress Park and work really hard and come back from this corporate banking environment. And who is this person? None other than Darryl Green, one of the now new Hall of Famers, said, Carla, you're crazy. But not only crazy, I like that craziness in you. You know, we can do business together. So of course now I'm like, oh, this is awesome, you know, how wonderful. Because he's also very committed, obviously, he and his wife Jewel Green, to the community. And it just felt so great to be able to say, you know what, look, because you've worked and you've done a lot of these great things in the community and you've got that banking business, I'm willing to be your business partner. I'm saying that for a reason because as we go through this, I want you to look at your own life and I want you to understand how critical it is to get networked with the right people. Because anytime you're talking about building assets and creating generational wealth, you also need to look who's around you. Huge influencing factor, I should say. So now at this point, we're gonna come up to now. Our company is in an amazing position to really take our card to the next level nationally. And so I started this startup like 6 years ago and still chugging away. So I am a true blue, what you call entrepreneur. And what I wanted to talk to you today is those aspects of creating generational wealth that will take all of us to the next level. So we don't have to worry about how, Lord, help me to pay the next month's rent. Okay? How can I pay my water bill? No, we should be in a place in life where things are sustainable. So we can start having a little bit more flexibility to help, you know, our brothers and sisters out. Does that sound good? Are we going in that level? Okay, well, let's go to the next slide.